They won't come at you with a sword. Toxic people don't wear a uniform, don't carry a label, and they almost never strike first. What they do is subtler. They plant doubt. They twist praise into poison. They smile as they slowly shift the balance of power in their favor. Until one day you find yourself hesitating before you speak, questioning your instincts, censoring your strengths. That's how they win. Not through confrontation, but corrosion. And if you don't understand this now, you'll bleed slowly for years and never realize where the wound came from. So how do you deal with them? You don't fight fire with fire. You let them burn themselves in a structure they built. And that structure is your silence, your strategy, and your refusal to dance on the stage they set for you. Machiavelli didn't waste time confronting the venomous. He observed, calculated, and then when the time was right, he struck so cleanly that the threat never had a chance to regroup. You don't manage toxic people. You disarm them before they know you've even seen the blade in their hand. The first thing you need to do is recognize the type you're dealing with. Not all toxicity looks the same. Some wear it like perfume, strong, obvious attention-seeking. Others hide it like a hidden dagger, always out of view but always ready. The dangerous ones aren't the loud ones. They're the ones who twist your reputation in whispers, the ones who give you just enough kindness to keep you hooked, just enough cruelty to keep you weak. Now here's the Machiavellian truth. They're not attacking you because you're weak. They're doing it because in some way you're strong enough to threaten their illusion of control. Your calm makes them restless. Your independence irritates their need to dominate. So instead of admiring strength, they try to fracture it. That's the mindset you need to adopt. If someone's trying to undermine you without cause, they're not acting out of confidence. They're acting out of fear. And nothing gives you more power over a toxic person than understanding the fear that fuels them. So what do you do when you identify one? You don't call them out. That's exactly what they want. Conflict, a scene, a way to turn your reaction into a weapon against you. What you do instead is starve them of fuel. Machiavelli would call this the strategy of controlled detachment. You stay close enough to observe, far enough to be untouchable. You respond with politeness so cold it becomes unbearable. You let their provocations meet a wall of pain so unshakable, they begin to unravel under their own weight. And remember, you don't defend yourself against gossip. You destroy it by making yourself undeniable. When someone tries to twist your name, don't scramble to fix thestory. Become so competent, so composed, so consistent that their version of you becomes laughable. People who are truly powerful never explain themselves. They let their actions become an indictment of their enemy's lies. Silence executed strategically is not weakness. It is dominance in slow motion. There's a tactic Machiavelli would quietly employ. The mirror trap. Reflect their behavior back at them subtly. If they lie, act like you believe it, but act accordingly. If they manipulate, give them what they asked for, but only in a way that exposes the absurdity of their request. Never escalate. Never attack. Just reflect. Toxic people often can't handle a taste of their own strategy served back with no emotion. It forces them to confront their own reflection, and they'll either retreat or self-destruct trying to preserve their mask. Another principle, never try to change them. Don't waste energy hoping they'll see what they did. That's a trap. Toxicity isn't cured with reason. These people aren't looking for understanding. They're looking for control. Your attempts to resolve the issue will be twisted into proof of their power. They'll say you're overreacting. They'll make you question yourself. The more emotional you become, the more in control they feel. So don't engage their version of reality. Create your own and invite no one into it unless they've earned that space. Distance is not avoidance. It's a weapon, but don't make it loud. Don't announce it with statements like, "I'm done with you," or "I'm protecting my peace." That's noise, and noise is what they feed on. Just disappear. Withdraw your attention like it was a privilege, not a default. Let them realize slowly and painfully that they were never as important as they believed. And here's something most people miss. Toxic people often act like victims. They weaponize sympathy. They use their past wounds as a shield against accountability. The moment you feel guilty for setting a boundary, they've already won. Machiavelli would warn you, pity is a gateway drug to manipulation. Don't overdose on it. You can acknowledge someone's pain without giving them permission to poison yours. But none of this matters unless you apply it with precision. And that means one thing, knowing your end goal. Are you trying to remove this person from your life? Are you trying to neutralize their influence? Are you forced to coexist for now and need to outmaneuver them in silence? Your strategy must reflect your terrain. Machiavelli didn't use the same tactic for every enemy. Had adapted, anticipated, evolved, and so must you. If you want to beat a toxic person, You must become untouchable, not by being louder, but by becoming unreadable. Withdraw access to your inner world. Don't post your thoughts, don't explain your emotions. Don't give them updates they didn't earn. Mystery is power. And when you become unpredictable, their scripts collapse. Toxic people thrive on patterns. Your reactions, your words, your tells, break them, let them guess. Let them panic in silence. There's also the power of quiet alliances. Never go head-to-head with toxicity alone if you can help it. Build subtle relationships with people of influence. Let your consistency, your calm, and your competence be seen. When the toxic person makes their move, they'll realize too late they were fighting a silent army. Machiavelli valued appearances, yes, but he understood the difference between showmanship and quiet influence. Don't flash your weapons, just make sure they're aimed, loaded, and ready when needed. And perhaps the most difficult truth of all, you must sometimes accept that eliminating a toxic presence requires personal sacrifice. Maybe it means walking away from a role, a relationship, or a situation that you once valued. But if that space has become a battlefield where your peace dies slowly every day, then staying isn't strength. It's surrender. Power is not about holding ground. It's about choosing the ground worth standing on. You do not win against toxic people by beating them at their game. You win by refusing to play in the first place while quietly building a kingdom they can't enter. Let your energy become so focused, your presence so precise, and your silence so deafening that their noise fades into irrelevance. Not through confrontation, not through revenge, but through pure disciplined control. Because the final truth is this: those who aim to poison you only succeed if you drink what they pour. And Machiavelli would smile at the one who looks them dead in the eye and never takes a sip. That kind of restraint, the ability to see the trap and not step in, is what separates the manipulated from the master. And yet it's not always easy, especially when the toxic person is someone close, a colleague, a friend, even family. Proximity makes their influence sharper. The deeper they're embedded into your life, the more subtle their tactics become. But that's where your real discipline is tested. It's not about cutting ties in a dramatic storm. It's about tightening your emotional filters so that nothing they say can pass through unexamined. They'll test you in small ways. A passive-aggressive comment here. A joke that lands like a knife. A compliment laced with criticism. Most people brush it off once or twice until one day they realize they've been drained dry. Machiavelli would never let it get that far. He understood that the first signs of rot must be handled immediately, quietly, and without mercy. Not because he lacked empathy, but because he understood decay doesn't stop on its own. It must be removed at the root. This doesn't mean you live paranoid, suspecting every person around you. It means you sharpen your instincts to read intent beneath surface behavior. You stop judging people by what they say, and start judging them by how your energy shifts around them. Do you feel anxious after they leave? Do you find yourself rehearsing what you'll say to them next time? Are you constantly second-guessing whether you've offended them even when you've done nothing wrong? These are not normal dynamics, these are red flags waving in silence. One of Machiavelli's sharpest strategies was to test loyalty by applying subtle pressure, not confrontation.